Right now, as Election Day creeps closer, it'll be the first time many people are able to cast their vote before graduating high school. How some students are getting more politically active ahead of November. Plus, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s battle to get off the ballot in Wisconsin takes another turn. The details on a newly filed petition from the Department of Justice. And later, state health officials sound the alarm on whooping cough as they see a rise in cases. We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. The Department of Justice, representing the state's Elections Commission, has filed a petition to bypass Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s request to get off the Wisconsin ballot and take that case directly to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. It is the latest update in Kennedy's effort to get off the state's ballot, less than 50 days to the general election. Earlier today, Kennedy's lawyers filed an appeal of a Dane County judge's decision from earlier in the week. The judge upheld the Election Commission ruling that Kennedy had to stay on the ballot. The former independent candidate dropped out after a deadline to get his name off the ballot, and state law says the only way an independent candidate's name can be taken off at this point is if he or she dies. We'll provide updates on the story as we learn more. And tomorrow, Kamala Harris will be in Madison for a rally. Now, the last time the VP was in Wisconsin was during the Democratic National Convention when she stopped at Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. Now, here is what we know so far about her visit tomorrow, and it's not much. WISC-Dems hosting the rally. The group says the event is sold out, but people who still want to go can add themselves to a wait list. We do know the rally will be sometime in the evening hours, but WISC-Dems has not specified the exact time it'll begin or said where that rally will be. Attendees will get that information 12 to 24 hours before the rally. Well, as we continue our 3 for the People coverage, we're bringing you more on youth participation in politics. And our Merrill Hubbard is here to talk about 2 high schools in the Madison area that are getting students engaged in politics through what they call a legislative semester. Merrill?
Yeah, Eric, many of us remember taking a government class in high school, but for some schools here in Madison, they are taking it a step further. Legislative semesters are becoming more popular so students can learn about not only how their government works, but also how to talk about policies from both sides of the political aisle. We're going to hear from students and staff at West High School and Middleton High School to see how these students take leadership of their class and engage in civil discourse.
And I had the opportunity to teach civics. I was like, I am taking this. I jumped at it.
Carrie Bowman has been teaching U.S. history at West for 20 years. She was about to retire, but pushed it back when she found out she could teach civics this year.
It's like riding a Mustang right now with the presidential election. It's like, oh my gosh, every day is it's just fun.
It's the first year Madison West has a civics elective, the legislative semester.
I believe that being civically engaged as a teenager, even before you can vote, creates a really good foundation.
The only way a functional democracy works is if you have an informed electorate. And even more now with AI and social media, how do they discern that information and make a really good vote?
To find out, the students take the class into their own hands.
Miss Bowman here, our teacher, really does a good job at kind of letting this be a student-focused class and kind of letting us lead.
I'm allowed to speak my opinions, which I really, really enjoy. And I see that there's other students who agree with me and disagree with me, and I feel like that's perfect for everything.
In the class, they watch debates, learn how to fact-check, argue on topics, and come to a compromise.
There is another side that we don't see, so we try and recognize that bias.
It kind of just goes in a circle of just different ideas bouncing off each other and eventually finding a consensus.
This way, they can learn about the political and social issues that impact them.
Palestine and Israel, and abortion and immigrant. That's my big 3.
I definitely think gun control is a big one, especially when I see other kids like fearing for their lives when they go to school. It's always in the back of my mind.
Just like students at West, students at Middleton are talking through tough topics.
A lot of the issues I care about, I would say gun control, abortion, universal health care, a lot of those hard-hitting issues that, especially in high school, children are usually ignored when talking about politics by adults. And I think that being able to take a class like this, where we can all engage with each other and teachers care about what you think, it's especially important to talk about issues like that.
Middleton High School has been doing a legislative semester for over a decade.
It's not like any other class I've ever taught. Our students probably do better than most adults.
No matter how long the course has been going on, teachers are excited to see their students in civics.
I have the utmost faith in this generation. They're much more empathetic. They're much more hopeful. They're much more idealistic than even my generation.
In 2024, Gen Z will make up over 40 million potential voters. After talking to over a dozen students at Madison high schools, it's clear that issues like climate change and gun violence are top of mind for youth. But according to Circle Research, cost of living is young people's biggest concern by a wide margin.
Love to see those classes. Meryl, thank you. A juvenile has been arrested in Sauk County after allegedly showing off a pellet gun near Sauk Prairie High School. According to the police chief there, the juvenile was found off school district property and cooperated with officers. Sauk Prairie Police Department will be referring charges. They were placed at a juvenile detention facility. No injuries were reported, no shots fired during that incident. The case remains under investigation. Rain chances finally return to southern Wisconsin. Let's check your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington's out on the patio. Alex?
Eric, dry out here on the patio, but in a couple hours, thunderstorms will be moving all the way into south central Wisconsin, and we do have rainfall chances starting tonight, and then better rainfall chances, more widespread and appreciable rainfall chances where I think most of southern Wisconsin will be Saturday night, Sunday going on into Monday. Let's talk a little bit more, though, about tonight's rainfall chance. We're keeping an eye on showers and thunderstorms, a couple severe storms off towards the north and towards the west, well north and west right now of Madison. This is north of the Decorah area where they have some hail being reported with a strong thunderstorm west of La Crosse. And these storms are gearing up, but they're going to struggle some as they move off towards the east. Severe thunderstorm watches outlined to our west in Minnesota, northwest Wisconsin, and north central Iowa. Watch future track as we move through the evening hours. We have those storms get into southern Wisconsin, but there is some breaking up of the thunderstorms, especially as we get beyond the midnight hour. We anticipate this line of storms to fizzle more as it moves east of Madison. Madison and points off towards the north and towards the west. We could see a strong storm or two. We're keeping an eye on that. The main threats would be wind and would be hail. Coming up in Maine weather, we're going to track the remainder of the movement of that line of thunderstorms on future track and how much water between tonight all the way through Tuesday morning we can expect.
All right, Alex, thank you. Now to Reedsburg, where 2 sheds are damaged after a fire broke out. Happened yesterday afternoon. These sheds were holding around 900,000 pounds of hay. Firefighters were sent to Thiemann Hill Road about 1 o'clock after someone called about having multiple large square hay bales on fire. Crews found 2 sheds fully engulfed and a 3rd shed partially on fire. Took several hours to put it out. No one was hurt. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Whooping cough is on the rise in the state, and that's what the Wisconsin Department of Health officials are warning us about today. So how can you protect yourself, also your family, from this respiratory illness? Arman Rahman spoke. He set out to find you some answers here. Arman?
Yeah, Eric, DHS officials say the best way to prevent pertussis, or at least make some of the symptoms less severe, is the pertussis vaccine, of which there are 2, DTaP and Tdap. And according to DHS, children should receive 5 doses of the DTaP vaccine when they're between 2 months to 6 years old. Adolescents between 11 and 12 years old should get 1 booster dose of Tdap, and adults who have never had the pertussis vaccine should get 1 dose of Tdap. Pregnant people should receive Tdap between 27 and 36 weeks of each pregnancy to protect the newborn before they're old enough to get the DTaP vaccine. And if you feel like you're developing a respiratory illness, contact your doctor.
If you do have a cough illness that is not going away and seems to be getting worse, that's an important part, because antibiotics, if given early in the course of illness, really can help reduce the severity. It cuts down on the infectivity as well.
Whooping cough or pertussis cases are more than 10 times higher now than they were last year in the state, and the illness is also seeing a nationwide high. And of the 643 cases Wisconsin is seeing so far this year, half of them are Wisconsinites from 11 to 18 years old.
Armand, thank you. To combat the opioid crisis locally, UW-Madison launching a pharmacy-focused regional center. 2 associate professors are leading the launch. The Wisconsin Opioid Overdose Response Center will be based at the pharmacy school with a special focus on fentanyl.
While there are good solutions out there to mitigate the consequences of overdose and the likelihood of overdose, not everybody who might benefit from those approaches is getting access to them.
Between this October and next September, Ford and Wenther will be getting the center up and running. They're currently connecting with pharmacies and healthcare professionals throughout Wisconsin to help launch the center's programs and initiatives. Coats for Kids campaign inching closer to 1,000 donations now. News 3 Now teaming up with Klinke, the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, and our friends at Magic 98 to try to collect 5,000 coats. So far, the campaign has collected 804 coats, so we still have a long way to go. And if you'd like to help us out and donate, you have until October 5th to do so. Just take any new or gently used coats, hats, mittens, snow pants, and other winter outerwear to any area Clinky Cleaners location, and there they'll take them off your hands and clean them for free. And if you don't have a winter coat, you can still help us out by buying a coat off the Coats for Kids Amazon wish list, and you can find a link to that at channel3000.com/coats4kids. And still ahead on News 3 Now at 6, some lucky bees are finding a new home after their old one is about to be torn down. Pretty unbelievable story. Plus, a wild police chase caught on camera involving a limousine. What police say they found inside that vehicle.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Hot tub season is here now, and Leisure Concepts has so many hot tubs in our showroom we can barely move. Tons of new hot tubs. Floor models are on sale, and a powerful 4-seat hot tub is just $59.99. We'll deliver your new hot tub immediately, and we train you so owning and loving your hot tub is a breeze. Check out our huge packed showroom now for a great hot tub at a great price. Leisure Concepts is on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
I'm Matt, and I'm a former Trump voter. One of my biggest beefs with Donald Trump is that with him, anybody who doesn't agree with him is a radical, is a lunatic, is a leftist, a Marxist, a communist, somebody out to destroy America. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris because I don't want to live in a world that's all about hatred and retribution and getting even with your neighbors and getting rid of people who are different from me.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The final sprint to Election Day is on, and News 3 Now this morning is focused on the races and the policies that matter to you, the voter.
We're taking a look at both sides of the issues and where the candidates stand so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6, moving forward.
Well, check this out. A limo driver led Pleasant Prairie police on a chase that ended in a crash, all captured on police body cam. Officers say the driver sped off after they tried to pull him over for an expired plate Monday afternoon, and video shows the driver attempting to pass other cars, losing control and crashing into a ditch. That's when the suspect made a run for it. An officer found him. You see here going through the woods. A canine was brought in to help get that limo driver in custody. Police say they found meth in the vehicle. The suspect now facing several felony charges. To Milwaukee, where demolition crews are preparing to tear down the Northridge Mall on the north side, but not before saving something they found there first. 2 very large beehives. Looking to save those hives, Nazim Agushi called his boss, and coincidentally, both men happen to have backgrounds in beekeeping. Agushi, who's from Kosovo, collected the bees with his father.
Some good memories where I was going with my dad, and then kind of where I was using the smoke, and just kind of got me because I was using the same methods back home.
Yeah, he smoked the Northridge hives. That's to safely calm those bees before carrying the queens to their new boxed homes. And by tomorrow, he expects to transport those hives to their new home, which is in Walworth County on a 100-acre farm in Elkhorn. When we come back, a Reedsburg man claims the top spot when it comes to truck driving. Plus, Tupperware filing for bankruptcy. We take a look at how the iconic American brand got to this point. And how much rain can we expect for tonight? We're all hoping for some. Alex returns. A complete forecast after a short break.
If you're looking for a new fence or deck, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. You'll get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off the installation or 60-month no interest financing on your fence or deck. Scan the code to see if you qualify.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse, raising taxes, running up debt. voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Nobody wants to replace the roof. But these days, many roofs are only lasting 10 to 15 years, costing you tens of thousands of dollars. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. RoofMax treatments, started early enough, can extend the life of your roof by 15 years or more. And even if you think your roof is at the end of its life, 90% of the time, RoofMax can extend the life of your roof by 5 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. So give us a call and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
Brian Style worked to overturn Roe v. Wade, called it a great victory.
Brian Stiles' victory banned abortion in Wisconsin, and his agenda would ban it nationwide, with surveillance of pregnancies and restricting birth control and fertility treatments. Peter Barca fights to protect our freedoms, not tear them away.
He backs Wisconsin's law enforcement, firefighters, and unions.
And Peter does what's right no matter what party it is.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
We found out our baby had severe fetal abnormalities and that my life was at risk. But Wisconsin Republicans' extreme abortion ban forced us to leave the state to get the care that I needed. It was a nightmare. Eric Hovde pushed to end Roe v. Wade. And in the Senate, Hovde would give Mitch McConnell the majority to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of women like me. What is wrong with these guys?
We wanted to be able to enjoy all 4 seasons, and patio enclosures helped us make that dream come true.
The one and only patio enclosures.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Tupperware Brands, the company that revolutionized food storage decades ago, is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The company's been around for nearly 80 years, but sales have been dropping, and other less expensive, more easily available storage systems have bitten into Tupperware's business, ultimately putting the iconic kitchen brand's future in question.
But there's just so many more brands out there now, and not just the Rubbermaids, the Anchor Hawkings, the Sterilites that are the big beasts outside of Tupperware. More and more, there's private labels. You know, Target has gotten into that space on their own. Walmart has gotten into their space on their own. Amazon has their Basics line.
Tupperware reported more than $1.2 billion in total debts and $680 million in assets. Shares for the company have fallen 75% this year. In 2023, plasticware demand in the U.S. was $5.7 billion. Olive Garden striking a deal to use Uber Eats for deliveries for some locations. The partnership starts later this year at a limited number of locations and will likely expand nationally to its more than 900 locations next May. Uber Eats is taking over deliveries from Olive Garden employees, but food can only be ordered through Olive Garden's website or app, not through the Uber Eats app. Amazon warehouse workers are getting a pay raise and free Prime memberships. Amazon says the average starting wage has increased to more than $22 an hour. That's good news for the online retail giant's more than 800,000 frontline employees. The company will also offer the $139 yearly Prime benefit to employees for free. The wage hike comes ahead of the busy holiday shopping season, and analysts are predicting online sales will increase this year. Rain chances tonight. We could see more showers by the weekend. Alex now with a complete look at the forecast.
Yeah, Eric, and we'll take all of those raindrops that we can get tonight. Some areas in southern Wisconsin are going to lack in getting rainfall tonight, but much better chances as we head towards Sunday, Monday, going on into Tuesday. Let's track the first round of rain and thunderstorms, some severe over portions of northeastern Iowa, north and west, well of Madison at this point in time, but eventually we'll make it towards the east into our warm and increasingly more humid air mass. Here we go towards 8 o'clock, that line lining up to Viroqua, La Crosse, west of Camp Douglas. As we move towards the 11, 12 o'clock hour, that line is already pushing into Dane County, Columbia County, up towards Dodge and Jefferson, and down to Janesville, Beloit, over towards Monroe. But notice that we're starting to see the line break apart as we head towards midnight. We're anticipating this line to weaken some as it moves across southern Wisconsin, and then it's out of here by the time we get to 6 o'clock in the morning. Skies already clearing, making for what's going to be a sunny and a warm Friday. Best chances for water out of this bout of rain is Madison and points off towards the north and towards the west, where that line holds together more. Crawford County, Grant County, Richland County, Juneau and Adams County, you might see anywhere between a 1/10 to a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch, maybe an isolated 3/4 of an inch amount. But Madison and points to the east as that line starts to fizzle. Significantly less chances for rainfall tonight, maybe a 1/10 of an inch or less, or maybe nothing as you head over towards east of Janesville, over towards Elkhorn and over towards the Milwaukee area. An isolated strong storm cannot be ruled out tonight. Gusty winds, hail would be the primary threats, and this would mainly be for areas from Madison and points towards the north and towards the west, especially out towards Vernon and Crawford County. Meteorologist Jacob Montesano will be here this evening, but I'll be keeping an eye on it remotely from home as well. One reason why this line of thunderstorms may really start to fizzle, and this is just one reason, the energy in the atmosphere, where you need to see those really, really bright white colors, and off towards the west is where the colors are the brightest, and that's where most of the energy is. Here over Wisconsin, those thunderstorms will be battling some of this dry air and some of the humid air trying to move in, and that's one of the reasons why we anticipate this line to weaken with time. Round number 2, Saturday night all the way through Monday night. Right now, anywhere between a half widespread, 3/4, some places picking up an inch of rain by the time we get towards Tuesday. We'll be keeping a close eye on that series of weather events because we need that rain. This is just updated here. All of southern Wisconsin abnormally dry. We have pockets of moderate drought developing across southern Wisconsin. And this is owing because at the end of August, we had 8/10 of an inch of rain. It turned off, it turned hot and extremely dry, and that's why we've seen drought conditions rapidly spread across southern Wisconsin. The rainfall chances Saturday night going through Monday and Monday night. After that, they end as we go further out into the 10-day. We warm back up into the middle 70s. Upper 60s are normal high temperatures by the time we get later out into the 10-day, and we need the rain, every drop, as I've mentioned before, because as we go later into the month and into the beginning of October, the overall weather pattern turns dry again.
All right, Alex, thank you. Well, when it comes to driving trucks, a Reedsburg man can now say he is one of the best. This after winning his first ever national championship at the National Truck Driving Championships. Connor Dent earned the top spot in the Twins Class Championship in Indianapolis. The competition recognizes excellence in professional trucking. In his first 3 years of driving for FedEx, Dent accumulated more than 260,000 safe driving miles.
It's definitely something that I've always wanted to do. It's like an adult sport, honestly, because you know, I love football and lacrosse growing up, so being able to do this and compete is a great hobby.
Well, the drivers accumulate points by demonstrating their driving skills and knowledge of the industry through a written exam, a pre-trip vehicle inspection, and difficult driving course that tests their ability to judge distances, maneuver tight spaces, reverse park, and position their vehicle exactly over things like scales, near barriers, and around curves. We'll be right back with sports after a short break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Save big money with these hot deals at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Halloween plush gnomes are just $2.99. 19-ounce glass cleaner only $1.99. 50-pound bags of water softener salt are $5.99. Bacon wrapped stuffed pork loin, only $5.49. These hot deals won't last long. Hurry in before time runs out. Sign up for Menards emails to get more hot deals, plus the weekly flyer right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote. I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest.
Even to travel to get an abortion.
Please, think about me. You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
Now women are being refused life-saving care at hospitals. And politicians are trying to ban birth control.
please think about me.
My parents call me their miracle daughter because I was born with IVF.
But IVF could be banned too.
Do they think we're less than human?
Do they think we can't make decisions about our own bodies? About our own lives?
When you vote, please think about me.
And me.
And me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade,
he couldn't care less.
I'm Joan Balwig, and these days the cost to make Great-Grandma Balwig's blue ribbon banana bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and pass the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what banana bread does and bring everyone to the table.
Over the second day in a row, Packer quarterback Jordan Love participated in practice, and according to head coach Matt LaFleur, he was limited. Love, of course, injured his MCL in week 1 of the season, one of the last plays there against the Eagles in Brazil. Coach LaFleur wouldn't say if Jordan Love will practice tomorrow, and it's uncertain if he'll return for the game Sunday. That's against Tennessee at noon. He is confident that the team can get a win if Jordan Love can't play.
What we did last week, I think, gives everybody more confidence, going forward if I'm not clear this week. So I love that. I love that we got the dub, and it's a big confidence boost going forward in this next week.
And some more good news for the Packers. Wide receiver Jaden Reed and offensive lineman Elgton Jenkins both returned to practice today after missing in practice yesterday. And the Brewers down to the final 10 games now of the regular season. And despite winning the National League Central yesterday, they still have a shot at the top seed in the National League. But to do that, they first have to beat the Arizona Diamondbacks at AmFam Field tonight and have other couple things work out as well. This game just underway. They're scoreless in the first. Tobias Myers on the mound for the Crew, and we'll have highlights for you tonight on News 3 Now at 10. And don't forget to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle. This week, former Badger volleyball player, national champion Lauren Barnes is stopping by. You can catch the next episode tomorrow at 6:30 right after News 3 Now at 6. Finally, tonight it is peanut butter and jelly time. The newest M&M flavor is a spin on the old classic sandwich combo. The candies feature berry-flavored chocolate with a peanut butter center. This is the company's first new flavor innovation since 2022. The sweet and salty combo is set to hit shelves in December. So, Alex, yay or nay on peanut butter and jelly M&Ms? Grandma Harrington would like that.
She'd
maybe.
love them. I will do a yay on that because I do love my peanut butter and jelly. You can't beat that. It's a classic.
I don't know. We'll have to try it coming out in December. We're keeping an eye on these storms tonight.
We are. Jacob just arrived here too. Jacob's going to take over, but I'll be watching from home as well. Showers and storms move into southern Wisconsin, but we should see overall a weakening trend with this line as it moves through southern Wisconsin.
Could use a shower or two, to say the least. All right, Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us at 6, folks. Have a great evening. We'll be back tonight.